This one's a good one. How do you think TRT treatment will evolve over the next 5 to 10 years? Any new science to look out for in optimization? So when I was in the US, I met the owner of a company called Kaisertrex, who are making an oral version of testosterone. So there are continued innovations in the field. Recently, people have also been talking about a nasal delivery option as well. Both of these options have drawbacks and limitations. And even when speaking with Kaisertrex, and I'm sure in the future he'd love to come on this channel and talk about the product too. I could be happy to link that up. They recognize that they will not replace injectables and topical cream. It's more so they're adding another option to the market. When it comes to the future of treatment, ideally, the things that I'd love to see an esterized version of luteinizing hormone. I think that would be great if we could inject, esterized LH and FSH with testosterone. That'd be fantastic. Then we wouldn't have to have this whole HCG discussion. That'd be cool. I don't know if that'll happen, but I imagine the future will be finding a way that we can optimize levels without shutting down natural production. That's I think if people are going to innovate further, that'll be the thing that innovates. I think the next chapter for TRT, and again, I don't gamble, but I'd probably bet money on this, when testosterone undecanoate, which is known as Reandrin or Nebido, when that becomes generic, I think that's going to not completely replace enanthate and cypionate, but basically with Nebido, they say you can do one shot every 3 months and have stable levels. If that was the case, 4 jabs a year, that'd be great. It doesn't work like that. But they also said that you could do one shot of enanthate or cypionate every 2 to 3 weeks. That didn't work out either. But if we could do a shot of undecanoate every week and get the same stability as doing daily injections of cypionate, and the undecanoate is still 200 or 250 milligram per mil, if that became generically available, I think that's going to be the next thing. So in the next 5 or 10 years, when testosterone undecanoate becomes generic, I think weekly shots of that for stability, I think that will be the next step for injectable testosterone. But I also think we're going to see a significant increase in the popularity of the transscrotal cream. I think Dr. Keith Nichols has kind of spearheaded, and he's been talking about this stuff for years, and his content has aged really well on it, as well as you, Stephen. I mean, you've been talking about this for a long time too, and I think that cream is going to become more and more popular purely because more people are discovering that in practice it works really well. And I think that says a lot. I mean, we can have mechanistic theory and ideas and studies about stuff, but in practice, the cream works really well, and it works really well for people who don't respond well to injections. And I think that's a pretty remarkable thing. So I'd also recommend people check out Neil Rousier's new book. It's called Hormones Demystified. I've got a copy of it around here somewhere, but it's a very layman's book. It's an easy read. And if people want to learn more about the future of men's HRT, I think that more going into the full hormone optimization, so beyond TRT, which is the title of my book, but this kind of stuff that Neil's been talking about through WorldLink, Stephen's been using it for a while, Keith's been talking about it for a while, looking beyond TRT, but in terms of optimizing things like melatonin, thyroid, pregnenolone, DHEA, I think this is also going to be a big part of the future of it as well.